Countries that controls the minerals controls the world. It becomes a global superpower. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will be delivering a lecturette on India, Taiwan, and is the war inevitable? Starting from China, starting from the war. What happens when a war happens, and why does a war happens? It happens when a country wants to control another country. Basically for the reasons, if it wants to access trade routes, if it wants to access their minerals, or if it wants to access the sea. Same is the case with China. As we have recently seen, China has been influencing multiple nations. China has been invading multiple territories to get access to the minerals or access to the sea routes. For example, China has recently invaded Tibet because it wanted its autonomy in the region. And it also wanted to counter India. That is why it invaded. If China controls over Taiwan, it will have access to the South China Sea. It will have access to the Indian Ocean. Through Indian Ocean, through South China Sea, it will also have the access to the Malacca Strait. From there, it will launch its ships. It will travel through its ships, and it might come into India and try to create autonomy over the ocean. But that should not happen. As we have seen, China is into the South China Sea, where it claims over the South China Sea. Since it do not have the direct access, it wants to have the access to the Taiwan. From there, it will control the South China Sea, and it will deploy its assets like floating islands, like the ships that will hamper the strategic autonomy of the regions that are surrounded by the South China Sea. Nations like Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam have already been damaged by these kind of autonomies. Although the International Court of Justice already said that the South China Sea through the Taiwan in the control of Philippines, but China does not agree to it at all. That causes unrest in the region. Through Taiwan, China wants to have its autonomy over different nations. From Taiwan, it accesses the Pacific Ocean. It will have access to the resources of the Pacific Ocean. It will have access to the trade routes that still hampers China going to different nations. So gentlemen, today I ask you, what is the reason? What is the consequences of this the war would happen? The consequences of this war, it would be very harmful. For example, if it attacks Taiwan, not only Taiwan, the different regions will also be hampered. So gentlemen, the countries need to have diplomatic talks. It needs to find the trade routes. It needs to find different aspects in which they are common and solve the issue, hence making cooperation in the world rather than one country ruling the world. Thank you.